know this is a really like old aging person thing of me to say, but I feel like these weeks are flying by, and I feel like I just talked to you about the Wednesday word. But here we are again, another Wednesday, and the Wednesday word today, Mr. David Bradley.
The Wednesday word today, Mr. Cirillo, is goal.
Goal. Goal.
Goal. Goal.
But I mean, goal. Wait, it's goal, and we're in February. So that's that thing that I've already given up on since the beginning of the year. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, this is the reason why the gym is empty right now, why there's tumbleweeds blowing across the treadmills at the gym.
Yeah. I didn't realize that 5:30 was so dark outside. I can't go. I'm going back to bed.
BSU.
BSU. Beat the sun up. There you go. Well, that makes sense for people that are wait for it, ambitious about achieving their goal. I mean, why is goal so? Because like everybody, goal is one of those words everybody talks about, especially in business, training, anything. It's like goal. I think there might be people out there that are sick of hearing the word goal, but I mean that's the whole aim of that's the whole ambition of the Wednesday word, is to break apart and dissect the meaning and the background of a word so that we can figure out how to actually truly apply it and internalize it to our lives. So why this word? Why is this word so important?
You got to know where you're going.
It's like the Cheshire cat in Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Right. He appears in the tree. She's at a fork in the road, and she's like, "Can you tell me where I'm supposed to go?" And he's like, "Well, where do you want to? Where do you want to go?" And she's like, "I'm not sure." And he goes, "Well, I guess any path will take you there." Yeah.
The actual definition is the end toward which effort is directed.
That sounds so eloquent when you say it.
The end toward which effort is directed. So, you get in your car, you have no idea where you're headed. Nowadays, back in the day, you had a map. Now we use our nav system, or we use our phone, and we plug in a destination, and that is our goal. That is where we are headed. That is the end. And I think a lot of times, so I love the fact that you brought fitness up. Someone's like, I'm going to get in shape this year. Right. But what is that? What's your definition?
What does that mean?
Right? What's the goal? Do you have anything specific? Do you want to drop 10 pounds of fat while putting on 5 pounds of muscle? Do you want to get your body fat to a certain percentage? Do you want to be able to lift a certain weight? You want to be able to bench press your body weight, or 2 times your body weight, or whatever? Like, if you don't have a destination, then you're going to be like Alice and just any direction will go.
How is this different? How, in your opinion, I mean, how is the word goal, or the idea or definition of the word goal, different than, say, that of success, right? Like, if you look at the definition of success, a favorable or desired outcome, which, I mean, we kind of use the word, I'm starting to think about, okay, well, we use the word goal and success synonymously, but are there differences?
Great question. If you look at synonyms for the word goal, you've got aim, ambition, aspiration, purpose, objective. So I think having a correct goal, right? A definitive goal. I'm always reminded of, especially when I read this definition, in the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen R. Covey talks about beginning with the end in mind.
Right.
So it's whether you achieve that or not. And so as we sort of spitball through this, I think a goal is a definite end point that would require a new setting.
Yeah.
But success, in the 10X rule, Grant talks about success is like a breath of air. The next breath is always going to be more important than the last one. So Context. So that shows the synonymousness of it. I'd totally play that word in Scrabble.
Sure. The
The
synonymity.
synonymity. Yes. So it shows.
Is that right?
I
was I just took a crack at it.
Why not?
All right, cool. Well, now what are we gonna do?
So I think, but a goal is a lot more specific, and success, I think, has so much.
Yeah,
there's a lot more.
Yeah, like I mean, to me, I feel like today, oh man, this is where this is so interesting to me because it's not just the word, it's not just the duh, Bradley and Cirillo. It's when you really look at this. This is the power of the Wednesday word in examining these words from different angles because I'm thinking, in the kind of the broader sense, I am living the definition of success. Like I am experiencing the reality of the definition of success that I have created. However, that could change, right? So to your point about the next breath being more important than the last breath, but also I know that in my pursuit for achieving the reality that I'm living now, that I believe is my definition of success, there were points along the way where the goals didn't necessarily, like I didn't quit them, but maybe they were adjusted slightly. Or as I learned and gained wisdom in a certain thing, I realized that maybe I wasn't setting the right goal and I had to shift my goal.
I think success is more of a mindset, whereas the goal is an actual tangible destination event happening.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. I remember one of my mentors taught me that the most important goal is the closest one to your achievement. So that really changed the way that I set goals. Because I realized, like if I break actions to your point about kind of the it's like the thing you do to get to the place you want to go. It's a waypoint, maybe. Like my goal is not open the door. My first goal closest to my achievement is stand up out of chair.
Right. Dude, I love that. How do we bring that to sales? Right. Like I know like if your goal is to sell a car today, then the first thing you need to do is get in front of a customer. And then once you get in front of a customer, right, and then that would have goals in and of itself. And then like just to get in front of a customer. And then once you do, then there's a process. I need to greet him. And then the goal of the greeting would be to get to some fact finding. The goal of the fact finding would be to get to selecting a product. And then the goal of selection would be to demonstrate and then writing up and then close and then follow up.
Yeah.
So each step in and of itself has its own goal.
Yeah.
Right. And I love, say that again.
Well, it's because I mean, like, think about it. Okay. So what I said is my goal isn't to open the door. Well, I mean, my goal is to open the door, but I got to focus on the micro before the macro. Yes. Like, so the best goal is the closest one to your achievement. So it's not to open the door right now. It's to stand up and get out of my chair. And then my next goal is to walk to the door. My third goal is to extend my arm to the doorknob. My fourth goal is to twist and pull open. My fifth goal is to walk through. I achieved the macro. But like I think about my weight loss journey. My weight loss journey wasn't to lose 50 pounds. I mean, it was, but the goal closest to my achievement upon determining that is what I wanted to do was to create my plan, like really consider what is this going to look like? And then part of considering that was how does my lifestyle need to change? How do my eating habits need to change? How do my lifestyle actions need to change? In other words, incorporating exercise and all these sorts of things. Then it was meal prep and it was sticking to my workout regimen. And like those were all my micros to lose 50 pounds. And then, I mean, even inside that, it wasn't to lose 50 pounds. It was to lose a healthy 1 or 1.5 pounds a week. Right. But I think like we joke around about people quitting their New Year resolution by like January 18th or so. It's like week 3 and they're
Right.
out. Like they're Kip from Napoleon Dynamite. Peace out. You know, because they didn't realize you can't just set a goal to lose 10 pounds or 30 pounds. You got to factor in all of the micro goals, the micro waypoints that get you to that. Those actions. This is what I like, going back to what you said about success versus goals. Goals being those actions that serve as a wayfinding system,
Right.
that help you understand whether you're getting to that big overarching idea or
Did you see 1917 yet?
No, but wait, is that the one where they film it with one continuous shot for the whole movie?
Um,
About World
yeah,
War
it's
One, right?
it's set in World War One, and spoiler alert. And it, the idea, well, it's interesting we're talking about this because there's two soldiers that have been assigned a goal, which is to deliver a message from where the British are encamped to another encampment that's about to walk into a major German trap. And then it's these two guys trying to get there. And as it turns out, one of the soldiers, his brother, is one of the soldiers that's about to walk into this German trap. So they start, and there are obstacles after obstacles after obstacles after obstacles in the way to them reaching their goal, which is to warn this other unit that, hey, don't do that tomorrow because you won't get killed. And so one of the things that I think happens is that people set a goal, they get very jacked up about it, they get excited, they get motivated, okay? And then all these obstacles along the road to your goal or success start popping up that you totally didn't anticipate, prepare for, or even set your mind towards. And you're like, you give up.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's tied to not having enough of a reason to keep pushing through the obstacles. These guys were going because, dude, that's my brother over there. So their goal was connected to this larger purpose. And so a lot of times I think these goals, especially New Year's resolutions, you spend one day on it, right? You get your goal. It means nothing because you only spent one day on it. You don't revisit it multiple times a day for the rest of the year, right? So there's no way you're going to get obsessed about it. And there's no way you're going to tie it to any deeper meaning or purpose. And so if it doesn't mean anything, then screw it.
Yeah. There is a way to achieve your resolution every year. If for the majority of people, if they just resolved to not, if they resolved to give up on their resolve by the 18th of January, everyone would achieve their New Year's resolution.
Yeah. You just need to dial in on its habit, right?
Where does this word come from? Like, when did we start using it?
The 1530s.
Or how did it evolve? Huh. What do you think they used before the 1530s to express this idea?
Drop the A. Yeah.
Gull?
In the 14th century. With an apparent sense of boundary or limit. So
in the
1530s, it meant end point of a race. And then it says of uncertain origin. The noun goal, G-O-L, appears once before in a poem from the early 14th century with an apparent sense of boundary or limit. Perhaps from Old English, gall, meaning obstacle or barrier. The word implied by galen, which means to hinder. Or from Old French, gall, meaning a pole. And then from Germanic, or figurative use of Middle English, gale, a way or course. Like where you're going.
I like that one better.
So then sports sense of...
we just pick the ones that we like.
Well, yeah, that's the language. sports sense of place where the ball is put to score is attested from the 1540s. And then it became a figurative sense. So the actual literal term would be literally where the ball is going, but then it evolved into meaning what we think of in terms of goal, not just.
Yeah. You know what's interesting about that too? Like just even the definitions of like hindrance or boundary or things of that nature. I mean, that's ultimately what it is it's creating a specific set of guidelines by which you will act in order to achieve an outcome. And I think that's why a lot of people have problems with religion and any form of organized anything, because they're like, oh, those commandments are too tough. They're so limiting. And it's like, yeah, because their purpose is to refine you in a specific direction. They're not to limit you. They're to expand you. Just like any goal. Like, what will I hinder? What barriers will I create if I want to lose 30 pounds? I will create a barrier between me and the junk food aisle.
Well, that brings me right to good old Jocko Willink. You know, he's got a whole book called Discipline Equals Freedom, and the dichotomy of them. You know, you have to instill discipline in yourself in order to have real freedom, right? Because let's just say hypothetically, if we just continue on the weight loss thing, right? The fatter you get, the harder it is to tie your shoes, the less freedom you have. You can't even move. No. You can't go where you want to go. Yep. You can't ride the rides you want to ride. You have to buy 2 seats on an airplane.
Yep. And with the seatbelt expander.
Right. And that's all embarrassing. And it limits you. And you don't even want to leave the house.
Can't climb the stairs. Nope. I've experienced all of these things, by the way. That's why it kind of hits home for me a little bit.
I remember that. You know, there's a picture of my driver's license from 2006 where I'm 205 pounds. I'm drinking just about a bottle of Jack Daniels a night. And I couldn't tie my shoes sitting down. I'd have to stand up and put my foot on something and then sort of work around my Jim Morrison belly. Yep. You know?
Man, I love these conversations. So the Wednesday word for this week is goal. And by the way, you need to check out, I can't believe I haven't done this to this point, but just to show you, you know, I love that you're taking the time to do this with me and to talk through these things. I mean, you could have said no, you didn't. That's just a testament of who you are. So for those of you listening, make sure you check out my man, David Bradley. He's got a podcast. You can check it out on Anchor. What's the name of the podcast?
Cardone Solutions Podcast.
Cardone Solutions Podcast. And if you have questions and you want to get into the nitty-gritty with my man David, hit him up, David at GrantCardone.com.